welcome back to Demigod Debut. I'm Mal, Sally Jackson appreciator and longtime Percy Jackson fan.
And I'm Julie, Percy Jackson newbie, and gonna be honest, didn't think of a zinger for this. I'm out of practice.
And first time watcher of the TV show?
There we go. First time viewer. On my lunch break, the day before, we're being proactive.
Whoa.
Proactive.
Preparing in advance.
Who is she?
Meanwhile, I finished rewatching this like 1 minute before we were getting on here, so that's fine.
We've flipped the script.
Yeah. And I need to know your initial thoughts on episode 1. Did you hate it?
No, I actually wrote less than 60 seconds in, already better than the Logan Lerman movie.
And, I think, I can't say everyone feels that way, because some people, I think, just like to be contrarian online. But I think for the most part, that's the general consensus, that at the very least, he is a child, and that's what counts.
Yeah. I mean, it is a low bar, but I was impressed.
It's also been almost 2 years since... Oh, by the way, this is a podcast. This is a podcast about Julie watching the Disney Plus TV show for the first time in preparation for season 2, which comes out in 9 weeks from the time this episode comes out, I think. So, crazy. Yeah, only almost 2 years late to the party. So, it's been almost 2 years since you read this book. So, did you remember any of the plot?
I mean, I did have to refresh my memory. I'm like, okay, yeah, we're at the Met. I did not really remember the bully. What's her name?
Nancy.
Yeah, did not remember her. But, it came back to me as the show went on.
Right, yes. And we get a lot in this first episode.
There's a lot going on.
It's fun. I think it's a good intro. There are also some changes, but I think for the most part, I'm very pleased with this episode and the way that it is structured. I also, if you have listened to every episode of this podcast, apologies, because I got together with some other friends of the pod, who had seen the show. This was during one of Julie's first union mandated breaks. Where I didn't make her talk about Percy Jackson, but then I spent a couple weeks going over the show before we, in between the Lightning Thief and Sea of Monsters. So I'm gonna try to not repeat all the things that I said then, but also I'm like, do I have other thoughts? Who knows? So I didn't even look at my old notes. So either this is totally different, and you're gonna be like, Mal, you've totally changed all your opinions since last time, or this is going to be me just saying the exact same stuff over and over. Who's to say? Anyway, we're here.
Let's do it.
My initial thoughts watching this were, oh my god, they look like babies. Because this is not what these children look like anymore.
Well, that's the thing. They do get older.
Yeah.
How old is the main guy?
Walker?
Yeah.
He's 16, I think now.
Gotcha.
Is he 16 or 17? I know Arian, who plays Grover, is over 18.
Mm.
And then I think Leah, who plays Annabeth, who you haven't even seen yet, but you've heard. You hear her voice a little bit at the end.
Well, and they do scenes at the end. For next, I guess.
Oh, the what's to come?
Yeah. I'm assuming they release them weekly or something?
Oh, yeah. Well, this one is a little silly because they released these first 2 together the first week. And so you got to watch both this one and then the first camp episode,
Ah.
But you've only seen this one because we're going one at a time. So, yeah. Anyway, Leah just turned 16 a couple days ago. So I'm like, aw, I remember turning 16 11 years ago.
I do not remember turning 16, if I'm honest.
I feel like we've had a conversation about what we did for our 16th birthday on this podcast.
If we did,
I feel like that's something
I literally don't remember.
We talk about a lot of things, and I don't remember them.
Oh, God.
Hence, covering the show again.
Yes.
In a brand new way. Yeah, so, great. So jumping in, I guess. I do enjoy that we keep the vibe of the book. You get the look, I didn't want to be a half-blood, as all good adaptations have. Notably missing from the movie.
I love how they kept the chapter title.
Yes.
As the episode title.
Yes. I had a day where I don't know what I was doing, but I went through the first 3 books and just sat down. This was in 2022, by the way. So I don't even know if anything was confirmed at that point. Like, I don't know if anybody had been cast or whatever, but I went through and I made up an 8-episode season based on the books, and I was like, they should name the episodes, the chapter titles, and this is what I think should happen in each chapter, or this is what I think should happen in each
Mm-hmm.
episode. And they're not totally right, but they're also not totally wrong. But I did call that this one would be called "I Accidentally Vaporized My Pre-Algebra Teacher" because it's just iconic.
It really is.
This episode I did call pretty well, other than the things they changed, because I was like, it needs to open with, look, I didn't want to be a half-blood, and it needs to end with Percy passing out at camp. So that's pretty much what happens. I also like that we changed the look, I didn't want to be a half-blood monologue a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. Like, we didn't do the whole, if you're watching this and you think you might be one of us, like, turn off this TV show right now. The way that the book is like, stop reading.
Yeah.
But I do like that we get a little more backstory for Percy in this beginning part, you know, like he's been seeing monsters. He sees the garbage truck that like turns into a rhino or whatever.
Baby Percy, freaking adorable.
Oh, he's so cute.
So cute. Oh my god, I couldn't get over it.
No, he's adorable. I also love that, you know, everything is real sad lighting, and then he's like, everything changed when I met Grover, and then all of a sudden things get like warmer
Yeah.
and brighter, and I'm just like, ah. I also love that they're playing Mytho Magic. That's just adorable. And I really hope that when we meet Nico, we get to see Percy bond with Nico a little bit about Mytho Magic. I need that in my life.
Oh, I literally wrote, I do not remember Mythomagic cards. And then you said Nico and it like came back.
Yeah.
I was like, I did not, was that a thing in the first book? Like,
No.
I did not remember that.
It was not mentioned at all until Nico showed up in the third one.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. This I know. I remember. There's a couple things that I remember ranting about last time. The Met hot dog carts are wrong.
They don't have hot dog cards there, do they?
They do.
Oh. I've only seen like the coffee ones, I think.
Oh.
That I remember at
Well,
least.
they have like the same carts that they have in Central Park and other
Okay.
heavy pedestrian traffic areas.
Foresters.
But they like the ones in the show, they're too bland. Like the ones by the actual Met have more stuff.
Where are the like papers, like the printed papers, like taped to the front or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Blowing in the wind.
All the like ads and stuff that says like hot dogs, pretzels, like, you know.
Oh, I could so go for a pretzel right now.
Oh, I love a pretzel. We also don't see any of the like tables, which I mean, I guess they could be there, but off in the distance. But like,
Oh, that are selling stuff?
yeah, that like where we bought those New Yorker covers. Didn't those come
Yeah.
from outside the Met?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, those are still hanging on my living room wall. Stole those from you.
Aw.
So it is the Met, and it is like a passable Met, but it's also like slightly off. And every time I'm like, that's not the Met. They didn't actually film at the Met. Which is like such an asshole thing of me to say, but
What did they do?
they had this big, basically like screen situation called the volume stage, and they like projected
Uh-huh.
it and made it look like it was the Met.
I'm surprised they didn't just like it's Disney. They have the money to shut down the Met for a second.
They do, but I also think that they didn't have a lot of faith in season 1.
Ah.
It almost felt like they were surprised with how well it did.
Oh.
So season 2 does seem like it's got a little bit of a bigger budget,
Mhm.
and I'm very interested to see how season 2 looks compared to season 1, because I mean, I don't think season 1 is bad by any
Mhm.
means, but I don't know. I'm just interested to see how it
Hmm.
changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also then, you know, get our typical classroom scene. This kind of happens in I'm thinking of the musical when I'm like, this happens in every adaptation, because I don't remember the first movie that well. I think this also happens in the movie. This happens in the movie. I know, because like Percy has headphones in. I
Mhm.
remember that. And so yeah, so we get our like little bit of Greek mythology. We get Nancy bullying him a little bit.
Mhm.
We also get one of my favorite shots of this episode, I think, where he's like looking up at the statue and then it switches to baby Percy and Sally looking at that same statue and her like telling him about mythological Perseus and how her like line about brave the storm that was sent to break us for we were unbreakable. Like it's sweet and it's cute and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But people did have some feelings about Percy being taught the myths beforehand because, in the book he comes in not knowing much at all. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on him coming in with more knowledge, like from Sally, or?
I don't know if it's just like this is how we want to introduce viewers to the myth, so like they know right away who he was based or like named after, that kind of thing. I'll be interested to see exactly how much he knows, because like part of him and Annabeth's dynamic was like her kind of being a wise girl and knowing
Mm-hmm.
like all of these things beforehand and having to explain them to him. So I'm kind of interested to see exactly how much he already knows and how they develop that kind of dynamic.
Yes, I am interested to see what you think about the Percy Annabeth dynamic of it all and the things to come. This is fun. I mean, it's always fun to make you engage with this media for the first time, but it's been a long time since because like I don't know, it just feels like a given that everyone in my circle has like seen this TV show except for you. So, yeah, I don't know.
Did you ever finish that book, by the way, that I asked you
Um
to read?
no, I did not. I need to do that. So, it's on my list.
Just like
Life is
started new series for Mal. Now I'm watching a kids television show.
listen. The book you wanted me to read was intense.
It's so good though.
Yeah, it'll happen.
I'll give you that. It took me like a month and a half to finish.
Yeah, well see I did start it over the summer, so it's now October, so anyway, back to our children's TV show. It's very funny to me that Grover is like psychoanalyzing Nancy here and Percy wants to just shove her in a dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. All the little nuances to tell us that Grover is 24 years old before Grover tells us that later in this episode. And he hits us with the, there's better places out there for people like us, really letting the audience know that like this is a magical camp story. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
going to be a place for them to go. And then we have Grover getting cheesed, which I think is very funny and a very funny reason to push someone into a fountain. Sorry, not push someone into a fountain. But I kind of wish that this had happened like, those videos where people would cheese like a baby or a pet and the
Yeah,
cheese would like stick. Like I wish she had thrown the cheese at him and it just like stuck on his head. I think that would have been funny.
that would have been kind of funny.
I also kind of wondered, is the water like pulling Nancy into the fountain? Is that just like an anger thing or could an older Percy with more control of his powers recreate this?
Hmm.
I mean, I feel like he probably could, but
Yeah.
I don't like have we seen him pick someone up with water and I don't know. Like it doesn't feel outside the realm of his possible like things that are possible, but no, I'm like he doesn't often pick people up, I don't think.
Right.
I don't know. And then we fight Mrs. Dodds. Did you have any thoughts on Mrs. Dodds?
One, very creepy looking.
Oh yeah.
Didn't really like how she kind of kept her like human face like for most of it.
Interesting.
It freaked me out.
That's fair.
And I was not expecting Riptide to be that kind of a pen, like a Bic pen,
What kind of pen were you expecting?
like a fountain, not like a fountain pen, but like this really nice like, oh god, I don't even know what they're called. Here, let me look this up. Nice pen.
You're not impressed with the type of pen.
Well, it's like a Bic, like that's like a 90-cent pen,
Yeah, Percy says
like something like this. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, like that.
that's a fancy pen. That pen is like in a box.
Yeah, like
Oh.
something that looked like that.
So I just looked it up, okay? How it is described in The Lightning Thief. He pulled a pen from his coat pocket and handed it to me. It was an ordinary disposable ballpoint, black ink, removable cap. Probably cost 30 cents.
Well, okay, I skipped over that part, and I'm not impressed that it looks ordinary,
You mean
okay?
you didn't remember that inconsequential
Yeah,
detail that from a year ago? No, 2
yeah.
years ago? Yeah, no, Riptide is canonically a really, really crappy pen.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, this also reminded me how bad I wanna swim in the fountains at the Met. I don't know why. I just wanna go in there. Maybe it's
Same.
that most of the time I'm by the Met, it's because 'cause I'm running, and I'm always like, "I would love to take a little dip."
Yeah, I think you're, like, swimming deprived in New York.
That's so true. I don't have access to pools.
Like, and that's a crime.
Which makes me wonder, like, Percy, growing up as a son of Poseidon, where's his water? I mean, I guess they go to the beach, so never mind. There's lots of beaches in New York. Also, okay, the stairs at the Met in this shot are very empty. I have never seen the stairs that empty.
There are always people sitting there.
There are always people on the Met stairs. Like, in Gossip Girl, isn't that where they go and eat their breakfast or their lunch or something? I've never seen Gossip Girl.
Me either.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I've heard that they eat on the Met stairs. Someone who's seen Gossip Girl, please let me know.
Yeah.
I also enjoy that we like fade to black in the fight scene and then he wakes up to like all of his classmates surrounding him. It's funny. And then, they gaslight the heck out of him with the whole there's no Mrs. Dodds here
Mhm.
thing. And then he's in the principal's office pretty quickly after that. I got really distracted this time, probably because I've, seen this so many times, trying to figure out what the painting is behind them. Because it looks like that like Washington crossing the Delaware painting,
Mhm.
But it's like weird. Like the guy in the front with the stick is too close to the like edge of the painting. Like there's more water in the actual painting.
Mhm.
So then I'm like, maybe that's not what it is because the back of the boat also looks a little off. So and then because I was thinking about paintings, then when it like switched to the side with the principal, I was like, and what's behind him? Like, are those llamas in that painting? I don't know. If anyone knows, I'm gonna crowdsource again. If anyone knows anything about art and can tell me what the paintings are, let me know. And so then the big thing here is Grover's betrayal. And I have to say that this absolutely shook me the first time I watched this. I gasped out loud.
Yes! I was like, what the fuck, Grover? I was
Yeah.
like, Grover's a snitch? I was like, no, I don't like this. Not my Grover.
Stitches get stitches, Grover.
Not my Grover.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe Grover just threw him under the bus. Especially because Grover knows the truth. Grover knows Percy's not lying.
Also, nobody, like, I don't know. I hated it. I hated it.
I think in terms of like streamlining the story, I think it makes sense. Like it makes sense for Percy to get immediately expelled here instead of finishing out the year the way he does in the book.
Yeah.
But man,
It hurt.
it really threw me for a loop, the Grover betrayal. But also in his defense, he looks like absolutely devastated to be saying this. Like he looks like he does not want to be betraying Percy's trust. So,
Fair, but like,
I forgive him.
ugh.
Also, I don't know if you caught it, but the guy kind of sitting in a chair in the shadows behind the principal, that is in fact Rick Riordan.
I did not catch that. What the hell?
Yeah, behind the principal, you've got Chiron on one side and then
Oh
Rick
my
Riordan on the other
god.
side.
That's too funny.
Incredible. And then we've got Percy sitting on a bench, like waiting to go home. And why is he in a sweater and a jacket here? It's June.
Maybe it's a cold. We had a cold start to June. Maybe it's a little chilly.
Maybe it's a little chilly, but that chilly? Like, they film in Vancouver, and so I know it's to do with the Vancouver weather, but there's a lot of costuming in this show that I'm like, okay, it's supposed to be summer. It's supposed to be summer, besties. But also like I can suspend my disbelief just because I know about the weather, but I have to bring it up. Yeah. And then, we get an interaction with Chiron in which he's like, I know you didn't touch her, or at least you think you didn't. And then he says some stuff about like, oh, I've seen many young people go through things like this, but I think you might have the most difficult journey of all of them. Like, this man trained Achilles. Achilles had a lot going on.
Yeah.
But also, like, so does Percy. So, actually, controversial hot take. this isn't even a hot take. Percy actually probably does have it worse than any of the classical Greek heroes. So, you know what? Yeah, I'm with Chiron here. So then, to show that we're back in the city, we get the Brooklyn Bridge, and then we get a street with a street sign that says 104th. And this is not 104th and 1st in the actual Upper East Side. It does not look like that. I don't know where this is. I mean, Vancouver, probably, but this is not New York. It's a pretty passable, like, that could be somewhere in New York. I just have been to 104th and 1st for Percy Jackson reasons, and I'm like,
Ain't
that's
it?
it ain't it. No. And then we are immediately introduced to Gabe because he's yelling at the super through the door, just, to tell us that he's the worst from the beginning. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on the show's take on Gabe?
Well, I kind of talked a little bit more about. Well, I'll get into it a little bit later.
Okay.
My first thoughts are Gabe was still a piece of shit.
Right.
And I just thought it was funny. I don't know, that he was like kind of impressed when Percy said he got into a fight at school. Like he was
Yeah.
proud of him almost. And I'm like, what? This is the only time I've ever like thought of Gabe as being like proud of Percy in any way.
Yeah. I feel like Gabe is giving man-child here. Like, he's giving more older sibling who still lives at home and won't get a job and is
Mm-hmm.
like, haha, you failed out of school. And then upon hearing that he got into a fight is like, oh, okay. Like, the way like
Mm-hmm.
an older brother would be, but like a shitty older brother, you know?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
do want to, like, I don't know if we'll, like, you talk about it later, but I want to talk about the Sally and Gabe dynamic.
Oh, of course. I also think it's very funny that cuz in the book he's got like friends that he plays poker with. Here he is just playing online poker, which is sadder.
Yeah, and like Gabe, definitely one of those people that has like all of the like sports betting apps on his phone.
Oh yeah, and he's watching like horse racing, so that's definitely also betting.
Yeah,
So just like he's more sad in this iteration
like very
than
pathetic.
yes. Whereas like in the book he's more mean.
Yeah,
Like he's awful, but in a completely different way.
right.
Like I'm like I know this man is not doing any of the labor around the house. I know Sally is both the one who goes to work and does all the dishes, but like ugh,
Dude,
just
have some pride.
I Speaking of Sally, incredibly iconic of her to be sitting out on the fire escape in the rain listening to Olivia Rodrigo. She's just a girl.
Yes.
This is the second thing that I know I said last time. I know that I said that I want to be Percy's new stepdad, because I think she is a very attractive woman. And I stand by that still, actually. So if they are wanting someone to be Paul, I'm available. Just let me know.
I love it.
I can be Sally's hot little young thing, you know?
I love it. Where's the petition? I'll sign it.
Yeah, thank you. I'm going to pass around that petition and get everyone who listens to this podcast to sign, and it'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
I do enjoy this interaction with Sally as a contrast to the interaction with Gabe. Like, where Gabe is just garbage, Sally is incredibly understanding. She gives him a hug. She talks about the phone call that she got from the principal, and I don't think she calls him the principal, does she? I just watched this. She called him the headmaster? I don't remember.
I don't. Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't know. Yeah.
Semantics.
Whoever that guy was who's in charge. Yeah, she says that, when he called, she said she believes her kid. And then she also says that Chiron, well, she doesn't say Chiron, but she says Mr. Bruner. But I've always said Brunner, and
It's Brunner.
I know that like this character is named after a real person that Rick apparently worked with who taught Latin, whose name was Mr. Bruner. But for the last 15 years, I have read it as Brunner. So I will not be saying
It's
Bruner.
Brunner.
Anyway.
I'm a Brunner truther.
Yeah. Whatever his name is, he had a call with Sally to talk about what happened. And Sally only brings up the part about Grover, but it is very clear that there were more conversations happening. Like, Sally knows more about what happened than, Percy believes at this point, because she says she called to book the cabin and very clearly was planning to make this kind of their last trip together before he goes off to camp. So, very sad.
Mhm.
I noted that this room that they are in is lit by a bunch of lamps, which love. Don't use the harsh overhead lighting,
Mhm.
but also it reminds me of
Yeah.
the apartment that we used to live in together that had like no overhead lighting. And so everything was just lamps.
We had like tiny little small circle dots or small circle like overhead lights, which weren't honestly that bad because they weren't like super fluorescent, but like none of them worked like they never all worked at the same
No.
time. There was always at least one out.
Yes. And they were like only in the
The
kitchen.
kitchen and dining
Yeah.
area, yeah.
So like
Not in the living room.
yeah, the living room had to be lit by lamps, and then our bedrooms had to be lit by lamps. I guess our bathrooms did have lights, but
Yes, yeah.
there were like very few lights in this whole apartment. But I was like, okay, New York thing, no overhead lights.
I miss her. Oh, she was so cute.
Yeah, it's a cute apartment, honestly.
Mhm.
If Sally is canonically working at a candy shop in Grand Central and can afford that apartment in the Upper East Side, well, it's not the Upper East Side, it's East Harlem, but still, that's expensive real estate. And maybe I need to start looking into jobs at a candy store
Yeah.
in Grand Central.
What's her hourly?
Especially since Gabe canonically doesn't have a job.
Lazy.
So then we get to the Gabe and Sally dynamic, which is very interesting and very different from the book.
Yes.
So what were your thoughts on this?
So, I I don't want this to come off like bad
Okay.
because I love book Sally
Right.
like a lot. But like show Sally feels like she's a lot more of a backbone toward Gabe.
Mhm.
Like the way she was like, I'm like taking the car, like, and I'll do this, and like all about like the sub or like lunch thing that she was like talking about. Like, I feel like Book Sally would, she's like meek, like she
Mm.
wouldn't have. And I don't want to imply like that she's weak or anything because I don't think that, but like I feel like Gabe was a much more like menacing force
Mm.
in the book than he appears in the show. Like the show, he just seems like pathetic and like
Mhm.
a boyfriend she's not gonna kick out yet. Meanwhile, like he seemed, not that we really get any like physical abuse like scenes from him like in the book, but that's how he came off to me.
Well, I mean,
Like that he had like,
yeah, it's definitely implied because there's a moment at the end where he
yeah,
like makes a move and she flinches and Percy realizes that like he has been physically abusive.
yeah,
And that's when Percy's like, "Hey, I can help you with that. Here's Medusa's head."
yeah.
Um yeah, no, this Gabe is very different.
But like Sally seems like such a strong character in this show. I don't know why she's putting up with Gabe. With this Gabe.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It seems like there's a mismatch there and it doesn't really,
Yes.
like in the book it kind of makes sense because she's scared, but like I guess I in the show there's a little bit of a
Yeah.
disconnect for me there.
And well, we'll get to it later, I guess. So never mind. Yeah, yeah. I have a lot of thoughts on Gabe and Sally here. I do sort of wonder if they like toned Gabe down for like ratings purposes or something. Like,
I don't know, it's a kid show. Like how much of that do you want?
yeah, like rather than actually. But then I'm like, there's a whole lot of other fighting
Yeah.
that's happening. Like,
But you know, domestic violence is just so much darker, you know.
yeah, very true. I don't know. It was an interesting change. It's also interesting that she specifically brings up D'Angelo sandwiches because, as far as I can tell, this is not a place that actually exists. I think it was just meant to be a
Like
reference.
what are the odds though that there's not like
I
is there not one D'Angelo's like sandwiches place in New York?
I didn't find one. I know there's an Angelo's Pizza and there's a Casa D'Angelo, but it's
Mm.
like Italian food. And there's actually in Queens there's quite a few various D'Angelo situations. But none of them appear to be sandwich shops.
Ah.
So it's all like Italian pizza and stuff. So I don't know. There's also nothing like near them.
That would it make sense for her to stop by.
Yeah, but then I'm like, maybe if you're driving back from Long Island, I don't know how you would drive back from Montauk to the Upper East Side, and if you would pass, maybe you would pass. Oh, D'Angelo's Sausage Truck is a sandwich shop in Queens. Ooh, and it looks honestly pretty good. And he's talking about like getting peppers, so maybe they are getting like Italian sausage sandwiches.
Hmm.
Oh, and there's also like a physical location. Ooh, maybe that's the mystery solved.
Hmm.
D'Angelo's Italian sausage. Maybe. Could be. Ooh, I don't know. Thank you, Google Maps. Anyway, I do think even if it's a real place, it was picked to be a reference to, Nico and
Mhm.
Bianca. All right. And so Gabe leaves us with a take off your shoes before you get in my car, which, is about to be the least of his worries. Then we get a dream. And in this dream, Walker looks quite a bit older than he. Like, I was like, oh, he's aged a little bit. Which is just funny. Oh, I also had a. This is kind of funny. I put with the Gabe and Sally interaction, I had a bullet that says, it's like she has another worse son.
That's pretty good.
Okay, so Walker's older. And, spooky dream tells him to run away before he gets hurt. I fear that ship has sailed. There is no running away at this point. And then when he wakes up, Sally is wiping tears off her face. Because, like, she knows that this is ending with him going to camp. Like, she's going to explain everything to him and then she's going to take him to camp. And it makes me so sad.
Like, I can't.
Honestly, this whole cabin scene is just sad. Like, in the book, Percy like talks about, oh, this like I have like the best time at this cabin with my mom. I love it so much and all these things. And he gets like a couple hours of just happy fun time at the beach with
Mhm.
his mom before things kind of go to hell and Grover shows up. But it's like he is having a hard time this whole time. And he just like keeps talking about something being wrong with
Mhm.
him and all these weird things that are happening and like it just oh, and he's also like he's so small.
Poor baby.
I feel so sad for him. Then we get, a real clue that Sally knows more than she has been
Mhm.
leading us to believe because she's like, what did she say to you? And Percy's like, I never said it was a she. Classic. And then she starts kind of explaining things to him and talks about how this is where she met his dad. And she doesn't, however, deny when he says that it's a cheap cabin by the septic tanks. She doesn't deny that part of it. But she also tells him that, his dad is a god. She also says that he was wise and brave and noble and stuff, which is like very generous for a god. Like, I feel like this is the nicest anyone describes a god in this series.
Like, one of the first words she used to describe, like, what she thought of was, like, wise. And I was like, that's not really giving, like, I don't know, like, love affair, soulmate thing to me, you know?
Yeah, he was so wise. And so I like if you were getting with like Athena, maybe,
Yeah.
and you were like, she was so wise, like I understand that, but I don't know. I don't know if that wise is a way I would describe Poseidon.
Like, give me, like, a witty at least. Like, something that makes it a bit more charming. Like, wise just does not give off, like, an attractive feature to me. I don't know.
Wise feels like I met an older man
If
and
you
I'm like,
describe a
he's
man as
so
wise, I think of, like, an
wise.
old man.
Yes. So she also tells him that his dad is a god, and that he's like all the wise and brave and noble stuff nonsense. Yeah. So she tells him his dad is a god, and then we get incredible line. You fell in love with God like Jesus.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought that was a very good line. This would be a very different book if she did. Also, despite him saying that, like, oh, I feel like my daydreams are, like, more real now, he also doesn't believe her when she says that monsters are real, which is so sad. But I do, however, appreciate Percy actually being told things, because comparing this to the book, it takes several chapters into his, like, being at camp before Annabeth finally tells him that, like, his dad is a god.
Yeah, like they just kept him in the dark for no reason.
Yeah, so
For no reason.
him actually getting information is an improvement, I think.
Yeah, nice change of pace.
And then our good friend Grover is back, and rightfully Percy is like, I don't want to see him.
Traitor.
And then we have, like, a different kind of betrayal, because Grover has very clearly been talking to his mom. Like,
Behind his back.
I wonder if there was a moment in which Percy thought that, like, did my mom, like, make you be friends with me? You know?
Yeah.
Like, those memes that I love to send my friends that are like, hey, you're pretty cool. I would hang out with you even if your parents weren't paying me. Like, that's.
Yeah. That's what it's giving.
Grover's like, I would hang out with you even if I didn't have to, even if I wasn't your protector.
Oh my gosh.
And, he's like, things are moving a little quicker than we expected, but it's fine. I'm not panicking. No one should panic. And Sally's like, yeah, I'm also not panicking because I am the adult in this situation. And this whole time, Percy is a little bit panicking because Grover is part goat. And it makes me a little sad that he doesn't call him a donkey, because I think that would be funny.
Yeah, what the hell?
He immediately clocks goat.
I don't know that I would immediately clock goat.
And I'm like, how many goats has Percy been interacting with in the city that he can clock goat legs?
Yeah. What kind of weird shit is he doing?
I don't know. Something. Then we get a pretty fun car chase. I think this is a fun scene. But throughout this whole thing, Grover sounds like he is quoting some satyr's guide for, like, mentoring young half-bloods. With this whole, like, it's always an emotional roller coaster and, like, we need to be providing a support system. Like, it just feels like it feels like he's quoting something. Like, this is not Grover's words.
Yeah, like the manual or something.
Yeah. There is some manual that he has read front to back that he is quoting here.
Mm-hmm.
And he does explain that he had to get Percy kicked out of school because the Minotaur would have found him there. So I guess we can sort of forgive Grover for throwing him under the bus with the principal. He also then explains the mist and how it, keeps things hidden, and that's why they didn't know Mrs. Dodds was there. He also explains camp and how it's, where they're going, safe place. And I do love how mad Percy is at his mom for not telling him all of these things, where he's like, what else haven't you told me? Because she doesn't tell him anything in the book. Like, he's getting so much more than book Percy at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, be grateful.
Yeah, honestly. You are way more in the loop than in the book.
Yeah. And then we get a big lightning flash, and there's the Minotaur, still in his tidy whities.
Hey, girl.
Thank goodness. Glad we kept that detail.
Mm-hmm.
And he is buff. He is very beefy. Percy and Grover kind of get going, and Sally calls them boys. And then Grover's like, actually, I'm 24. And we get no explanation about that, by the way.
Yeah.
And, like, if you read the book, you know that it's that Satyr's age half as fast as humans. So him being 24 actually means, that he's 12. But we don't know that. Now it just seems like this man has been hanging out in middle school with Percy.
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
Like, ew, what is he doing?
Then the Minotaur, like, smashes the car window with his horn, and it gets, like, caught in the steering wheel. They end up kind of, like, spinning out and crashing. And I love that Sally kind of hits Percy with the mom arm, She, like, puts it out. That felt real and true to the mom experience. And then we have our crashed car and Grover's goat legs kicking out the back window, which is always a little humorous to me. Like, it's just silly. You have any thoughts on any of this that we've discussed?
Only that, I'm sure, I feel like we probably mentioned this when we watched the movie, but like actually seeing the monsters, like, and how they're depicted makes it a lot more like concrete than like trying to imagine it when you're reading. Because sometimes they describe these things and I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, what is this? What are we looking at?
Especially like Mrs. Dobbs, what Mrs. Dobbs brings into. I'm like, what is this thing?
Yeah. She's also not what I pictured. I don't know what I mean, I don't really picture anything, but that was not what I was expecting. I don't know. I was like,
Yeah.
that's really what you look like? Okay.
I honestly can't remember what I first thought, but freaky.
Yeah, no, she's very freaky.
Freaky little thing.
So, I have one gripe with this scene. The same gripe comes up a couple of times. Where is the urgency? Like, they have to stop. Like, they stop so that Sally can make Grover swear that he's going to protect Percy. And it's like, it's a very intense scene, this swearing. And they also, like, don't even swear on the sticks, which is, like, a big deal in the books. So I was like,
Yeah.
why is this here? Why are we, like, stopping this scene to be like, swear you're gonna protect him? Like, you could have this conversation while you're running. Please, God, run.
Yeah.
And they have, like, such a long goodbye.
Being chased by something that's trying to kill
Yes.
you.
They do the
Yeah.
whole, like, remember the stories I told you? You're not broken, you're singular, you're my son. And, like, it's very sweet. But the whole time I'm like, girl, run. Like, they could have been at camp already. We gotta go. I did also forget that, in the book, Percy is wearing a red rain jacket purely for Sally to take it and, like, use it for bullfighting, and, like, the same reason he's got a red rain jacket on here too, like, so that she can do bullfighting. And just honorable mention for the title of that chapter, My Mother Teaches Me Bullfighting. That's also a great one. And wish it could have been used as the episode title, but unfortunately, Vaporizing My Pre-Algebra Teacher is more iconic.
Mhm.
Then, as Sally is kind of facing off with the Minotaur and it, like, picks her up, Percy's, like, runs back to her and then stops and yells, "Mom!" and just, like, watches the Minotaur, like, take his mom. And I'm like, buddy, why did you stop? Like, keep running. Keep going.
And, like, only to watch, like, the most traumatic thing that's ever happened in your life.
I don't know. The momentum is so weird here. Like, it's
Mhm.
like, I don't know. I don't know what we were going for with the way that this is paced, but it's odd to me.
Yeah.
But then we have Percy fight the Minotaur. And I do find it interesting that, and again, I don't remember if this is the case in the movie, but all the good adaptations have let Percy keep Riptide after the interaction with Miss Dodds, but the book doesn't. Like,
Huh.
Chiron takes the pen back, and Percy doesn't have a sword until his dad claims him, and Chiron gives him the sword right before they go on the quest. But this, he gets to keep the sword.
Ah.
Like, I don't know, I just think it's interesting.
But he still kills the Minotaur with the horn.
Right. Like, he loses the sword, like, immediately.
Oh my god.
I don't know, I'm like, I don't hate that he has the sword, but it's also like, huh, that sword didn't do you much good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Thoughts on this fight scene and watching it versus reading it? Because I know you love reading a fight scene.
I do love a good fight scene. I do have a question.
Uh-oh.
Why doesn't the Minotaur's horn, like, disintegrate when he kills the Minotaur?
There's not a great explanation given for that in the book, but they do kind of explain it. They're like, oh, it's a
Mhm.
spoil of war when you, like, sever it. So now it's yours. So,
Okay.
yeah, that's why.
Sure.
Percy has a horn now. Yeah. So then, for the second time in this episode, he passes out and wakes up surrounded by people who are talking about him. And, we get our first glimpse of Annabeth. She says he must be the one. And girl, you have no idea. And we also see Chiron, like, in silhouette as a centaur. And he's like, we've been expecting you. Welcome to camp. And it's great.
Very good first episode.
And then we get the credits, which are
Oh my
beautiful.
gosh, I literally said that. I was like, I love that outro. It's so pretty.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. I love the credits. Well, that's episode 1.
I enjoyed it. It's cute. I'm excited to meet Annabeth.
There are a couple things that I'm very excited to get your reaction to
Mhm.
coming up. Just, having watched media with you before. Do you have any hopes for episode 2 or like the rest of the season?
I honestly just hope they're true to the source material, unlike the movie.
Yeah. Well, I will say I was more pleased with how true they were to the source material.
Mhm.
So,
Like, it was good. Like, I really enjoyed the first episode.
and I feel like my opinion counts for something,
Yes,
maybe.
definitely. I defer to
Yeah.
you.
I think it's a good introduction. And you know, we still have to meet Luke.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have to meet Clarice. We have to there's lots of good
Mhm.
stuff to come. It's a fun show. It's a fun show. Great. So, we will continue doing this one episode a week thing, and this will take us until the end of November. And then there will be like 1 week, and then season 2 will come out. So, hopefully season 2 is good and that we can jump right into talking about season 2.
Are we turning into a show podcast?
We're oh my gosh, we're a TV show podcast. That's wild. Cuz I'm so sad that we couldn't. I mean, I guess we could have, but we wouldn't have finished Son of Neptune before
Mm.
season 2 came out, and I need to talk about season 2. I need to yap. I'm going to need to yap when that comes out cuz I started this podcast because I needed to yap about season 1. So, and here we are.
Here we are.
Almost 2 years later, yapping about
Crazy.
season 1.
Crazy.
Who would have thought? Not me.
Not me.
We say that a lot. Alright, well, more show to come. Thanks for rewatching it with us if you're rewatching it. And we'll see you next time. Hi, you can find us on social media at DemigodDebutPod. You can also find the links to all of our socials in the episode description. If you enjoy consuming this podcast, please consider leaving us a rating or review wherever it is you are listening. See you next time. Bye!